gives him a double at the red and the blue balls. So we'll see if that indeed is the case.
And I think I think he's forced into taking the double. As we were talking yesterday, these eastern boundaries are quite tricky for him to just shoot at a single ball to end up in corner 4 on a miss. So the double is his best percentage chance of hitting. In your response before, Gareth, that corner 2 was used as a response to the super shot yesterday. When the ball is Simon's put up as high as that, you'll find some players will just go outside corner 4 as the black to hoop 1 is quite a big shot. It needs to be played with good accuracy.
Yeah, so Kevin, as you say, Pete, is now looking for an opportunity to get a double on there, but funnily enough, he's pacing up and down. I think he's going back down to the south boundary with the yellows. Do you think he's maybe looking at the double this way round instead? Maybe because he's actually taking. Maybe he's doing that sort of thing.
He's looking at shooting at the ball near the peg, is he?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. So you think he might actually be?
Well, Simon's missed high. Yeah. It could be it's the flattest part of that eastern boundary, even coming on an angle.
Well, it just skirts past. And
looked a good swing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. What sort of hat is that Kevin wears? Well, is there a name for that type of hat?
There probably is, but it's well past my knowledge of names of hats. I'm likely to get that one wrong.
My hat knowledge is not great, but I do know something about this hat that we can see now. This famous propeller hat, of which Simon has the world's supply.
He has the world's supply. Are you saying this is not a standard croquet hat that Simon's playing?
No, it's certainly not required for croquet players to wear this hat or these shorts.
So
that's a great shot.
That's a great shot. That's a great cut. Yeah. Every new croquet member will receive a propeller hat for your first year's play. And even the loaded hoop 2 is fantastic. So this is just going to be reliant on Simon playing a good hoop approach, and could be away.
Absolutely, he's if he does a good hoop approach here, he's got hoop 2 really nicely loaded, and he's even got the yellow ball ahead of play on the northern boundary. Now, what's this going to be like? The blue coming in.
Guessing Kevin.
It's
a pretty good shot. Going back, we'll see if Simon runs this cleanly through.
Pete, left the black off to the western boundary, and I just that is a slightly defensive move.
I think the hoop approaches showed yesterday what I saw, that they were quite tricky. Not everybody was getting a straight hoop run. There was a lot of angled hoop runs, and I felt Simon probably felt I can play a shot that could get me a very good straight hoop approach, and I'll just rely on my skills of hitting a 4 to 5 yard return rotate out to the west boundary. But it's come unstuck. But it's a easier way to get a nice hoop run rather than committing the both balls out on a croquet stroke when you're moving both balls similar distance. But he'll
and we saw
be a bit
yesterday
disappointed
as well,
Simon there, because it was a loaded break up.
Well, Kevin now with a chance at what might be a slight double, because the black and the blue balls have gone off quite close to each other. Shoots and hits.
And it's a good shot.
Well, so Simon pays the penalty for giving himself a 5 yard roquet after the hoop. And Kevin now has a chance to craft a break.
And I think going back to the decision for Kevin to shoot up through the middle of the court. You go ahead, sorry, Karen.
No, I was going to say we saw yesterday that players were finding it difficult to finesse the hoop approaches and were often leaving the striker ball a little bit short. So that would possibly been on Simon's mind when he decided to do that. But anyway, Pete, you were going to make an observation about that.
No, I mean, Kevin's Croquet then was an excellent shot, but he turned down the double with that opening, and he let it go through the middle of the court, and I think possibly he just didn't want to, if he did miss, to give Simon the free balls together to work a better rush to hoop one off that centre ball, and by not giving him that rush, it meant Simon had a little bit of work to do around hoop one, and it paid dividends for Kevin by getting back in quite quickly. They're both very experienced players and campaigners. They've played each other. I haven't got the stats here, but they've probably played each other 50 times in ranked event games at least. So they know every little trick in the book each other will have, or what they like and don't like. So it should be a good match.
It should.
They're not taking any chances of trying to control the hoop.
No. Playing it very strongly and leaving himself now a Croquet of 5 or so yards. So very similar to Simon.
At least.
The reward not quite as great because he doesn't have a pioneer at hoop 2.
This before he strikes it, I was going to say.
Ooh, he misses that one. Well, we've seen both players now miss 5-yard Croquets.
I was going to say, even though the shot on blue was longer, it's a type of shot I thought Kevin might take because the reward is a lot better by hitting the blue. But he must have been feeling pretty good about his Croquet after that first good hit from hoop 2 down to Simon's balls to take the shot on black, because it gives away a bit by missing.
Yeah, that's right, Pete. The reward for hitting the blue was much greater than for hitting the black, but it was a bit closer. So Simon is able to put a load into hoop 2, to the southeast of hoop 2, and he should have a rush on the blue, taking him down to hoop 1, being able to start his break now with the black ball. So in a very similar position to where he was with the blue just 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
this time electing to play it flat and through, and off he goes. And he's not messing around. This is very high tempo play by Simon.
No. It does look very blustery out there, Gareth, and you don't want to have too of a slow of a swing when you're around the hoops. You've got to get that pendulum going and get a nice clean strike on it. So the control of the hoop run is probably not going to happen unless you're within a foot or closer. So it's just a matter of getting through the hoop and relying on your Croquet skills like Simon has played there. He just overcooked that black onto the red a bit, but if he can muster a way of getting through hoop 2, he should be all right.
I thought he might have actually tried to do a split up to yellow whilst loading the blue, but he went to get the rush on the red towards hoop 2, and it means he's now given himself a teasing 7-yard approach. And he doesn't look happy with it. He's not happy with it.
No, that really got away from him.
So now he's got to decide what to do.
Red isn't
Just to. I mean, you could think about this.
He doesn't. Corner two's looking attractive, I think, for him at the moment, is it? I think he can get back into this by getting a miss from Kevin. If red does shoot at yellow, I think he's going to have a look at what sort of shot blue has on yellow. So he may just bury this black ball completely over into corner 4 area, or halfway down eastern boundary in case Kevin does something different.
Well, the propeller on top of his head was whizzing around then as he thought about it. He's elected to pump the ball over to the eastern boundary level.
Yeah. Staying within reason of hitting himself and relying on Kevin to miss this 10-odd yarder. Which I don't know if I'd bet against Kevin missing this 10-yarder. It's one of his strengths is this distance. He's got a smooth swing. He doesn't overpower them. Plays them consistently each time the same pace. So he gets a high strike rate.
Yes, well, you often say, Pete, that you shouldn't rely on your opponent missing. You need to make sure that you're not thinking in those terms. You're thinking more positively. But Kevin now looks as if he's going to have a go at the blue.
Yeah.
Shoots and hits nicely.
Nice shot.
Okay. So the yellow ball, remember, is still on hoop 1. So would you think there's a possibility of getting a break going from here, Pete, or is this do we think we might see a bit of a squeeze leave?
You'll probably play a bit of an each-way bet. I think you'll promote blue out into the court and try to get behind black ball, but it won't be a risky get behind. It'll be, no, he hasn't even tried to get behind. He is doing as you suggested and setting up.
Whoops. He's the right way around.
Nice indeed.
Yeah, I think we can expect to see this a roll shot here, Pete, sending the black ball over to hoop 2, going to red.
Yeah, so if the mini map has red towards the boundary, but I think it's a bit more room than what that may be showing. No, it looks like he's a bit worried about it, so he's doing a thickish takeoff.
Just doing a takeoff. Yep.
And he might be happy just to control corner 2 himself. The good thing is he's got great distance between the blue and the black, and there's maximum distance between the blue and black on his own red and yellow balls if he is going to take over corner 2. There's no safe shot for Simon. If Simon wants to shoot all the way down on himself, he's leaving 2 balls near hoop 1, and Kevin will be able to keep a load up near hoop 2. And if Simon shoots the other direction, Kevin should be able to make hoop 2 off his own balls and have a couple of balls over towards hoop 3. So it's a strong position. Relies on Simon hitting at least a 25 to 30 yard shot, or Simon deciding not to shoot at anything and giving Kevin a free attempt at a break.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Pete. Rather than having the black over at hoop 2, which was one of Kevin's options, even better if he's got a rush himself to where he wants to start. So he'll have good options here. He can either, as Pete said, head towards hoop 3 with his red ball, or he can head towards hoop 1 with his yellow ball. So lots of options for him here. Now just picking a spot that the black ball can't attack.
Yeah, it's a nice leave, Kevin. And as we were talking about it yesterday, distance is one of your 2 requirements. You need to be able to make a break whatever they do. If they miss or don't take a shot at you, you need to be able to make a break next turn. And you want to put maximum distance between all the balls as possible. And Kevin achieves both things there very well.
So we think that there isn't a shot for Simon here on the direction of the line that I'm showing on the map. That the hoop is in the way, so that would be a wired position. But he's going to have a go. He's going to have a go. He must be able to see something.
Yeah, I think he'll be shooting at the yellow, and he's taking the approach on. I'm taking the shorter shot on the lawn, but it's open to me. And I don't want to.
He shoots and just misses.
Play
Ooh, that was very close.
Game, and it's a good swing.
Yeah, very full throttle swing there from Simon. And unfortunately for him, leaving the black in a position which now makes it quite straightforward for Kevin to pick up a break. So we should see quite quickly, I think.
He's got a bit of choice how far he hits this black, and that'll determine how well he can load hoop 3, because he's still got to muster this rush to hoop 2 off the yellow. So he hasn't taken it too far away. So while the black may not get perfectly at hoop 3, he still has to make sure he gets this rush to hoop 2.
Do you think there would have been merit to starting with? Yeah. Do you think though doing it with taking the yellow round instead, given that there's a gilt-edged Pioneer at hoop 1?
I think if you have a choice, if you've started a break and you're on hoop 2 with 1 ball, I'd prefer to go from hoop 2 to 4 back and keep your back ball on hoop 1. Just gives you more options on the lines of play. And it's a very short rush to hoop 2 to get some sort of control of this break going.
Ooh, a bit overhit, I think.
That might be the hill Simon got.
Oh, can we be a little jumpy effort here? And the penalty will be quite big because the yellow is lurking. Oh no, it's his own ball. Yeah, so it's not too bad. He's actually got a friendly ball next to him. So here he goes with a bit of a jump.
Yeah, it's good camera angle here to see these little delicate half jump shots.
Yeah.
Just up and through.
And that's through. Now he might have left himself wired.
No.
He might have left the red and the yellow could be wired here.
Yes, I think that looks a bit nasty.
Simon will certainly come out and have a look at that. He'll certainly be inspecting whether or not red and yellow can see each other. And there's the red, and there's the yellow, and for my money, that would be wired. Let's see. Well, he's decided whether they are or not. We're a little in the dark. If they are wide, I think we can expect this black to be going down to the blue. But no, maybe they're not wide. Or maybe the opportunity is just too good to pass.
It might be technically wide, Gareth, but I take it he thinks yellow's got enough of red to hit.
Right. Well, it's all academic now because that was a great shot by Simon.
Yep.
And the yellow ball is off the boundary to the north of the hoop 1, hoop 2 line, and Simon will be able to start his break with black.
Yes, he's taken over Kevin's break. So.
Yep, he's taking it over, and he'll pushes the yellow towards hoop 3. Doesn't get all the way there, but
no, it's shown this hoop 2's proved quite difficult. Right. So
yeah, we're not quite right on the scoreboard, are we? Because it should be clear that both the black and the blue have made hoop 1. Oh, black has made hoop 2 now. Well, this is looking pretty good for Simon now. He will just rush this red down towards the blue, and that will give him every opportunity to load hoop 4 and get a rush back up to the yellow. Well, the blue ball was actually much lower down than the mini-map implied. It is quite difficult to update the mini-map from Sydney.
Yeah, that's an excellent rush from Simon, because the load on hoop 3 is not perfect. So to be able to get in this position to get a rush on blue and can control the break to tidy it up is very good. There's a bit of distance between the spot he needed to find, and he got it perfectly. And so now's the value of the good rush coming up.
Yep, and that's probably where he wanted it.
Yeah.
Far enough away from the yellow to give himself some room.
And that blue should load not all the way to hoop 4, but good 5-6 yards, nice and straight in front of hoop 4.
Yeah, he'll certainly be able to get the blue at least halfway down between 3 and 4, and the red is well off a boundary, so he should be able to shepherd the balls into the positions he wants. His propeller going very, very fast on his head there at the moment. Yep, blue on its way down, and yellow travelling towards hoop 3. That's a reasonable approach, tiny bit short, but smooths it through very nicely. Has to accept a 3-yard return roquet. Which he doesn't try and baby, and hits it with enough force to make sure he makes the shot, and that gives him a little bit more of a difficult next sequence of play.
Yeah,
let's do that.
It's not an easy croquet shot he's got. He's got to hold this yellow towards hoop 5 as a load, but still get a reasonable rush on the blue ball into hoop 4.
That's right. It's not an easy one at all. There's a fair amount of distance there. He's pushed the yellow off to the west of hoop 5, and has held a good rush on the blue, but he's got high up in the court.
Yeah, he's got that. I think he hit the rush at the right pace. He just got a little bit too much of the blue ball rather than cutting it, towards the hoop, and so he doesn't like to take off now to the hoop. So he thinks.
Yeah, he doesn't like to take off to the hoop and electing to go off to the red. Let's see what this looks like. He just needs one good rush towards hoop 4, and he'll. Oh no, that's not what he wanted.
bit short. So he might push us all the way up towards hoop 2 and take off to try to get hoop running position and just to set. He gave himself a chance at the break, but he's going to not give the turn away. But both players have had a couple of opportunities with all the balls to make a break, and it just hasn't quite rolled that way for them, and it might be just the first one to settle to take advantage in this game. I know the wind certainly looks like it's playing a little bit of havoc with both of them. They just need a couple of shots to land right on the money and they'll be set.
Yeah, I mean, it looked for all my money that Simon would get this break together, but he hasn't managed to finesse it quite much, unless that ends up in front of the hoop. Which it has done.
That could be the shot there. It changes it up. Yeah, it's a great shot.
What a takeoff! Well, there's a lesson in takeoff.
Not only is it only a yard and a half, it's a pretty straight hoop run. That's a fantastic shot to judge that distance over the green with a bit of curl here and there.
Oh, bad luck. Well, that was a brilliant effort by Simon. He just played a divine takeoff to get into that position and was very unlucky not to make the hoop in the end. The players exchanging a couple of consolatory words there. As one walks on and the other walks off. And yeah, it'd be great to see a replay of the takeoff at some stage. Here it comes. This is the hoop running shot. Kevin, of course, now with a shot on yellow towards the black. About 9 yards. Shoots and just skiddles off to the left-hand side.
Yeah, doesn't miss by much. Unlucky not to give a bit of a tickle on the edge of that ball.
A replay of the great takeoff by Simon coming up. Here it comes. Lovely thick takeoff and just smoothing its way down towards hoop 4. Really deserved a better
little
outcome.
curl in to bring it in just nicely. So some good reading of the terrain there from Simon.
Yep. Well, he'd know these lawns very well. I suspect what's happened here is that he shot blue at the black and has missed going off on the northern boundary. So lots of good interaction between these players. Obviously always great to see. Great break play. Oh, that's going to hit. It's going to hit. No, it isn't.
Oh, it's like putting on a green, isn't it? Just waiting for the curl to come in as the ball slows down, and you read it correctly, and you get a little shake of the ball, and it sails past. It's unlucky. It was a good shot.
And loving the camera angles that we're given there. Fantastic to see the. Oh yes, look at that! So close, a little bobble.
It was going to. Yeah, and even I think Kevin was just about to have his hand up in the air to claim a good shot, and he had to bring it down quickly. Yes, it took a deviation past.
So Pete, what's the play here with Kevin's balls joined up there above hoop 2? What should Simon do?
Well, Kevin can rush to that blue ball, can't he? Oh no, the red's off the boundary a bit, so he can't do that.
Yeah.
I think Simon's looking what the value is in actually taking a shot at anything, and there's no value, so he needs to slow Kevin up, force Kevin to use him off the boundaries and hopefully get another error out of him. So he doesn't see any value in hitting anything. There's no easy break from the hit. So he's playing a little bit safe. Sometimes it's not a bad idea just to take stock of the situation. He's had a couple of opportunities. They haven't come off. He's taken a couple of risks on Roquets, and he's thinking, look, I just need to take a bit of stock and try to get back in this match another way.
So if you were Kevin now, Pete, would you put some work in to try and craft a leave using the black and the blue, or would you just set up the red and
yellow? Is yellow for? What is yellow for, Gareth?
Yellow is for 1 still.
And red is for hoop 2.
2, yeah.
Well, since Simon's not together, it is a free takeoff if he wants it to hoop 2. And then he can work with that ball near hoop 3 to get something going. So it's a free, Simon's giving him a free takeoff to attempt to get through hoop 2. It's a bit of work for Kevin to get hoop 2 and 3, but it's a chance.
It's a good shot. The red's run off on a little longer.
It's one of these terrible ones. Do I go for the hoop now and risk, not making it and giving away my position, or do I just return to yellow somewhere? And because Simon has indicated he's not possibly willing to shoot at one of these balls.
Well, Kevin looks like he's going to come back.
If Kevin had one of Simon's balls off the boundaries towards hoop 3, then he'd be trying to run this hoop. But he's thinking there's not enough reward for a good hoop run, and so I'll just keep position.
All right, so we can update the map. Yeah, so putting the red in a position that discourages Simon from shooting from corner 3 to corner 2. Simon's certainly going to move the corner 3 ball.
I think he'll shoot right down the line at this black ball, and
it
would be good to see the camera angles. There will be some movement on this shot. It depends how hard he hits it. This one could take quite a turn to our right as we're looking
down the wibbly wobbly.
You'll need to
Cairnlea east
you
boundary.
need to allow a foot to at least 1 to 2 feet.
So he shoots. It's looking good. No, it's coming off just to the eastern side of the ball and down into the corner. But it still gives Kevin some work to do.
Oh, yes. No, he had that at good pace. So, it held its line pretty true.
Yeah, it's tricky for Kevin now, Pete, because after he's made this rotate, he's going to have a very, very...
Yeah, if red was a little bit closer to the yellow and he could control that rush across the court, then he might have played it something different. But seeing he is 3 odd yards apart, there's no need to attempt a big rush. So he's just going to move Simon's balls about. Hold position. It's a bit of cat and mouse, but you don't want to be the one making the next error. So yeah.
I think it's more mouse and mouse at the moment. This one, rather than cat and mouse.
Well, you don't think there's any dominant aggressor here?
I don't spot any cats. No, I don't spot any cats.
No, okay. Well, maybe Kevin's just the big mouse at the moment. He's got the ascendancy anyway.
Yes, he's the larger.
It's a good shot.
It's
not an easy takeoff from the corner. Yeah.
No, it's not. And those of you who are new to the game, you remember that you can't put balls out on a croquet stroke. So very important when you're playing those takeoff shots to ensure that both balls remain in the court.
Yes, it's quite a delicate shot
deciding
because it's easy to get it wrong and put that red ball out. Played it very well. Look, the yellow to blue doesn't look very far apart, but it's never a nice shot if the ball is pulled up a yard or so shorter than you thought. So he's looking and thinking, no, look, I'll just take this guaranteed hit on the black ball and I can construct some sort of lead anyway.
Yes, and he only has to get the black ball out off the boundary a few yards, going to the blue, and then he can decide where he wants to crack the blue too.
Yeah, I think getting this black as far as he can towards hoop 1, as long as it's 3 or 4 yards off the self boundary, level with hoop 5 is fine. Going to the blue, and then blue can head up towards hoop 3, and he can retire into the corner. I know he's put it all the way across.
He's getting himself a 5-yarder at the blue. So in getting that nice distance on the black, he's given himself a challenging shot on the blue.
Well, I think he's moved to cat status now, Gareth. I don't know if I'll be
he's certainly
putting myself under that much pressure on the Croquet.
And now he's now he's a saber-toothed
tiger.
Might be
better staying as a mouse. He's thinking, oh, what have I done there?
Well, that was the risk-reward, wasn't it? I mean, on the one hand, there was the reward of getting the black all the way over to hoop 1, but it came with a risk.
But it's not. Yeah. As long as you get that black most of the way across, was going to be fine. But Kevin's the one out there on the lawn, and I say he's an extremely good roquet. He's one of Australia's best roquets for that 5 to 10 yard distance, and it's unusual for him to miss one of those ones. So,
oh, absolutely.
It won't take him long to get
he'd be over 90% for a shot like that. But of course, we're just here to see the 10% that he misses. As with all great sports, players are continually weighing up the risk-reward percentages, working out what is going to be a good payoff, a risk worth taking. And in that case, Kevin believed that it was worth getting the black ball all the way over to hoop number 1. He'd be more than capable of making the shot into the corner.
Breaknet's turn, whatever, Simon. Yeah.
Simon laying up in corner 1, looking to see where he can place the blue ball, where I think Kevin's red ball is still in corner 2. I don't think that has moved in the last bit of passage of play. So maybe Simon was picking a spot there that just made sure that there wasn't a double from the corner. It would be a very long shot for Kevin to make from corner 2 down to corner 1.
Yeah, he has a few options here. Kevin can take that shot on you're suggesting, but the reward isn't fully there, and it allows Simon to get a little bit of control on the break. And it's not like Kevin to want to not shoot at anything, but corner 4 area is a really dry option, but he's not in his MO to do that, so he is taking the shot on that Simon's offered him.
He is taking a big shot. Big shot. Here comes the yellow. Here it comes, and it just goes out just north of the corner 1. And that will give Simon some chances.
Yeah, give him some chances. Some work to do, but it's
well, some great interaction, Pete. we're
Oh,
very
it was
lucky
a
to
good
to be able to see the players
strategic
coming in off like
game, Gareth.
this. Yeah.
I think the big difference from yesterday is that both players, while they are attempting to get something going, whenever they do quit the lawn under a little bit of control, like Simon did there, the shots are long. The roquets you have to hit are long shots, and it lessens the chance of your opponent getting in on you. But it means you've got a little bit more work to do when they miss. But they're both very skilled to be able to get something going from these positions. But it's noticeable the long roquets that have been offered to each player, which is they're
Well, that
both
was a
very
nice
well
shot,
aware
wasn't
of
it?
their opponent's abilities. That was a great rush, yeah.
What a rush! 21 yards from corner 1 to hoop 4, and Simon will be
He
able to
has a
make
couple
this
of
hoop
options here,
and get a
Simon.
rush out of it.
He's got, yes, he could be able to get a rush either to hoop 5 or get a rush to the yellow over corner 1 or a rush kind of to nowhere, but he's going to be
I think the rush to nowhere is the option here.
but he's got control again. Kevin's separated by 28 yards, and Simon camps in mid-east boundary here. It's maximum distance again for everything Kevin's got faced in front of him. But it's one hoop at a time stuff. It's not pretty croquet. It's not the type of croquet that sometimes people are going to be flocking to see. But it's Simon's turn out there on the lawn, and he just needs to do what he needs to do to not let Kevin into the game. And you're happy to play unpretty croquet sometimes, as long as you're the one that's on the lawn, not giving anything away.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you said, I mean, both players have been only really presenting their opponent with very long roquets, and even when those roquets might have been made, the player has still got a lot of work to do because the balls are generally are not in the middle of the lawn. So Simon looking to set up a rush with this final shot.
I do think the one thing that Simon will be grabbing this info as well is Kevin's been prepared to shoot. He hasn't really looked like hitting away into a corner or playing a dry game, whereas Simon has looked like he's happy to not take a shot. So he knows Kevin wants to shoot. So sometimes it's quite good to give them something a little bit tempting because they're going to shoot, and so you might as well get the full reward of the miss if you can. So just move the balls not quite the full distance you might have to give them the longer shot. So hopefully Kevin will oblige and will shoot and doesn't change what he's been attempting to do. Yep.
Well, it's got a big shot now. So full 30-yard shot here. Oh, he's thinking about it. He doesn't like it. Looking at it again. Now looking back mournfully at the yellow in corner 1. Yeah, he was pretty strident about going.
Simon will be rubbing his hands together. As I say, he is a shooter and he wants to shoot, but you get someone to question their decision like that and take a few hesitations. I think
that's a bad result.
It's a tick for you, Simon. Well done there, Simon. And it's those small little bits of strategy and things that don't quite get picked up. It's not formulaic croquet, but I like the subtleties of that where you just got Kevin hesitation enough to think am I doing the right thing here? And then when that starts to happen, there's a couple of things running through your head, and the rotate doesn't always come out the cleanest. It's a lot easier just to walk on the court thinking, well, I'm shooting at that no matter what. And then it's just to focus on putting your best swing out there and trusting your swing. But Simon's been able to twist it up a little bit.
Well, a bit of an interchange of views between the players there.
Yeah, a couple of
Simon came on.
Yeah.
Simon.
Well, I always I wonder what they say to each other. They know each other well, and
yeah,
it would be quite a cordial little conversation.
That's right. It doesn't look like he's going to be even going for this hoop, does it? He's shaping.
Well, I think he tried the rush
up the court.
Yeah, I think he rushed to hoop 5, and unless it was going to be right on the money, he wasn't going to risk coming up through the middle of the court without any guarantee of a break.
Yeah, so both players jockeying for position in their last few manoeuvres, and the in player at the moment is Simon Watkins. He's basically looking for nice spots that he can sort of tempt Kevin to shoot at, so that he then gets a nice advantage afterwards. And he's gone all the way up to corner 2. Remember, his black ball is for hoop 5. His blue ball is for hoop 2.
Simon might have been telling Kevin how lucky he was by hitting that hoop 6 and still being able to get his ball to go off the court rather than stay in the court somewhere, or miss the whole hoop and end up next to Simon where he could have used him. So I think Simon's probably a little bit disappointed that he got Kevin to shoot. Kevin missed, but got a bit of a rub of the green and got a deflection away from him.
Well, Kevin's going to have another long shot, this time at his own red, perhaps. Not sure whether there's much furniture in the way. There isn't. Oh, but he just plays to do a wide join.
He did a wide join. There we are. New approach from Kevin. He summed it all up and thought, well, I'm not hitting these long shots, and I've got to do something else. I've got to make Simon take some sort of risk. Otherwise, he's just going to keep his balls together and move me around. So he's forced him to come and use them and not hopefully get a break from it.
Simon rushes down to the south boundary, and is a break on here, Pete, or are we going to see a bit more lead setting?
There's a maybe break. As I say, these east boundaries are very tricky to get behind to get a rush to hoop 5 from. I mean, if Simon can do a takeoff here and get to move Kevin's ball a little bit closer to the other ball, then yes. But it's a speculative break. I think Simon will be happy just to get both these balls off the boundary and return back down to his own ball on the south boundary.
Well, he's left himself a 4-yarder.
A little bit of cut would be handy.
Which has been made. Doesn't really get any closer to the red.
No. Well, this will tell us what his intentions are. He could play this yellow up the line towards hoop 4 while attempting to get a rush on the red ball to hoop 5.
Yeah.
In between the boundary and hoop 4, keep it kind of narrow, so there's no chance of his own ball going out. Yeah, along that's a good shot. So you can hold it for a rush to 5. Move out of the way for a Simon.
That's interesting. He's put the yellow into the hoop. Oh my
But
goodness! Well, this is huge moment in the game
he hasn't got the
because
rush on the red ball. So
no.
yeah,
So we just
so
need to explain, Pete,
seeing
to the
Simon's
viewers at
now
home why
yeah.
this is a so this is a key moment because the yellow ball is now in the jaws of the hoop, and it's Simon who's put it there, and that means that Kevin will be entitled to a lift shot. And this is particularly important because Simon's blue ball is on the south boundary, which is where A ball is.
Where he's allowed to lift it to, yes. And so Kevin's entitled to that lift because he's in the jaws of the hoop, or he can't hit both sides of another ball. So Simon's either got to somehow get through hoop 5 and be able to use them again, or construct some sort of magic shot where he can rotate it out and get himself back down towards blue.
Well, I think you've almost got to go for hoop 5 here because I can't see any way of extricating that yellow from there. Although I suppose if he takes off and just pumps it down, but then all the balls are scattered around the lawn again. Well, that's an amazing moment, and that's shaken the game from its slumbers.
Oh, very much. But yeah, well, let's see what Simon can construct. Needs this right on the money. Oh.
Okay, so you pump it through. That negates the lift, but where did the black end up?
It allows yellow to pair back up to red. And Simon summed up, well, that's better than me just handing the balls to Kevin with a free lift. At least I'll get a swing back at him in response before he attempts to make a break. So it's, again, just playing the percentages that you think is going to give you the best opportunities.
Oh, here's a replay of that. You can see it. The yellow starts off on a trajectory which is well to the right, and it curves around. So really unlucky for Simon there, because he hit the yellow aiming a good 2 yards away from that hoop, and he can't believe that it's actually gone in there. Oh, and there's the reaction. Oh, he wasn't happy. And Kevin starts off his turn by making a nice roquet on the black. But Pete, no particular break offers itself here, though.
No. So I think it's quite a good decision from Simon to do that, because otherwise it was a tap on from down in the bottom of A ball, and he might have been able to construct something better.
Yes, it was a very good decision, wasn't it? Because as you say, he would have gifted Kevin a rush to anywhere from where the blue was positioned.
But yeah.
So it looks like Kevin's turn to pair up, possibly leaving himself wired from the black across hoop 3, or possibly taking
I
off.
think he'll like to get that blue ball off the line,
yeah,
and get something going. Just have not so many balls left on the boundaries. You'll be thinking. He's promoted himself in court a little bit. Let's see, he can have this nice touch.
Yep.
And yellow is for hoop run, isn't it?
1
So
2.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. He's on a break. Because the black ball is beautifully positioned at hoop 2. So there we go. He's actually managed to craft a break from this. Well done, Kevin. Fantastic play.
Yes, a bit of a turning point, all right, that unluckiness of Simon putting that ball into the jaws of 4. gifted Kevin the first break. Well, not gifted. Kevin's had to work a couple of good shots to get it.
But it is remarkable, Pete, that we're an hour into the game, and this is sort of the first laid break.
Yes, it's the scoreline of 5-2 or something is not the norm between Kevin and Simon get matchup.
Well, he's in perfect position to lay out a 4-ball break now. A nice rush on this red to a beautifully placed black pioneer, and he will be on his way. And I think we'll expect to see that red coming all the way back over to hoop 3 to make an even better pioneer than the blue that's there now.
Judging the way the game has been running, it's going to be quite important to be the first player to get a controlled break under your belt and look like the player most likely to go on for the match. So we'll be putting a bit of concentration on everything now, I think, Kevin. He's not going to let this one slip by. He's heard Gareth call him a mice a couple of times. And he's thinking that's enough.
The larger of the two mice.
That could be, yes, that could have been what Simon was talking to him about as they were having a conversation. You know what they've been calling you?
Oh, they've got their earphones in, and they're. Yeah. Although that wouldn't be allowed, really, would it?
It would not be allowed. Well, not if you use it for any technical aid for advice.
I think the laws of croquet were initially written when earbuds were not commonly available. Well, Kevin in a good position now. Basically, the 4-ball break is almost laid out in regulation formation. It probably will be after this next croquet shot.
He's cut that ball, not quite the direction he wanted to, but all retrievable. Just means the next croquet shot won't be, quite as accurate as everybody would be hoping to be able to produce, but nothing too difficult for Kevin.
No, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Looks the black ball speeding on its way to hoop 4, and the just a little bit east of where he would have loved it to be, but a tap on the blue and the red, perfectly placed as the pioneer.
Yeah, nicely positioned. Yeah.
So there won't be any dramas here for Kevin.
I think once you get this, you'll get this rush up to hoop 3, nice and tight, and as you come out of hoop 3, it'll be just about the time to think, okay, what leave am I doing? What balls do I need to be? What parity of the balls do I need to construct my break? And, have that all sorted before you get around to hoop 6 or 1 back. Look at the hoop positions of what Simon is and think, it's okay, this is what I'm doing.
So, Pete, the surrounds of Cairnlea looking lovely at the moment. All the plants, the bushes, the trees and everything are looking fantastic.
Yeah, and the surface of the lawns are great for this time of the year, Simon. Gareth, the green. I mean, we always want a little bit of variance and curl just to make it a little bit tricky. And I think it's just a nice mix. It's certainly not easy croquet out there. The pace is quite slick. Everyone's been able to rush full distance to the court with a bit of cut. It's a good testy conditions, and the wind at Cairnlea is always tricky. You've got to always factor that in on your approach to the game here. But,
and of course, all the lawns and the The surrounds are all maintained by volunteers at Cairnlea, and we're all massively in awe of the incredible work that they do.
Oh, yeah, it's incredible effort from the volunteer group that have maintaining the facility. It's a huge undertaking.
Oh, he's just coming.
Not only a benefit for all the Victorian croquet players, but all the Australian croquet players that come to national events here are very appreciative of it, that we're able to have this venue upkept the way they do.
So Kevin came in a little bit underneath the black, but he's managed to prod it out to give him a nice approach shot. So his break should continue, and he's pretty much got everything where he wants it now.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
And very quickly, the game turns from being a bit of a slugfest into a sort of precision-controlled. It's almost like someone's flicked a switch, except for that. the black ball is careened into the jaws of the hoop.
I mean, Simon's going to have. Kevin's going to have just a little bit more difficulty to construct the break and keeping it tight, but I don't think it's going to trip him up. It looks like he's got enough room to take off to that red ball and rush red into a position for hoop sits as a pioneer, and then take off back to the blue, or do a takeoff past the red and be able to croquet it up the hoop sits. But I don't think it's going to affect him too much.
No, taking off to the red seems like the sensible thing to do. The referee's presence there, just a bit of a formality, I think. There's not really that much danger of Kevin playing a fault on this stroke, unless, of course, the black ball comes back onto his mallet. It doesn't. So, but of course, he hasn't managed to get quite as much control on the position of the yellow.
No, and black is still left behind in the break, so it just needs a little bit more work on the break. I think that was Mike Conn watching the shot as a referee, and he didn't think it looked too difficult, so he kind of stood back and let Kevin do his bit. I think if it was going to be a fault, they both recognised it pretty quick.
And it's certainly a noticeable cultural thing in Australian croquet that the referees will be called when there's the slightest doubt. Whereas I've noticed in the UK that they'll only call the referees if there's a lot of doubt.
Yes, yeah. But your opponent's always entitled to ask a shot to be watched, and so if it gets to that point when you think someone shouldn't be having something watched, it's just up to you to say, "Look, I'll like that. Be marked, please. If there's anything too difficult." But
well, we're at 5-all now. Let's Kevin to take the lead, and he does. And his only little task is to extract the black from the vicinity of hoop 4. Apart from that, it's all regulation stuff. Looks like he's just going to play 3-ball break for the remainder of the next 3 hoops.
Yes, and the black's a nice load for feedback already, where he's had to leave it.
Yeah. And if that's the case, then the blue ball is perhaps a little bit north. If Kevin
he may get a rush back out. I think it sits back down to black. yeah.
Hmm.
I think Kevin will be putting this red ball to the right-hand side of hoop 6.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the aim of getting a rush back down to the black. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then the black can't rush all the way up to 1 back, but it can rush out towards the western boundary and let Kevin control the
Yes.
break from there.
However, he's got a nice deep
fairly
position
wide.
on the red. Yeah, so we might be able to actually load 2 back with red and get onto the blue.
He's gave himself a couple of options. He's just going to find the right spot to play this big croquet shot.
Yeah, yeah, and this is a pretty easy one.
A lot of room. Yeah,
yeah.
It is. It just means both balls are moving quite a bit of distance, and you just that little bit of accuracy to get everything right on the money comes into play. But Kevin's very capable of it, but it's still needs to be executed.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes even though a shot is longer, if you're very comfortable playing it, then it doesn't matter so much. I think, you know, there's this type of shot that he's about to play now, where you're moving.
No, that's quite true, Gareth.
Ball. Yeah, it's such a natural weight to it. You know,
if you only have to play
programmed.
1 or 2 of these size shots in your break, it's all good.
Okay, well, he's got this well under control now, so it will be a question of what leave he gives Simon. You remember that Chris Grant is in an unassailable position in his block, and so Chris will be in the final of this competition. And a win for Kevin here will obviously guarantee that he is also in the final. Well, he's having a good look at things.
What are we thinking is the best leave that Kevin can muster out of this? I'm not quite sure what he's... Kevin is for hoop 2 with his red ball, isn't he?
Yes, they're both for hoop 2. Both the red and the blue are for hoop 2.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's double loaded hoop 3 back, and he's left himself not absolutely ideal shot on the red, because he'll end up with about a 4-yard approach. And interestingly, Pete, and we've seen in the first game between Chris and Ken, both players struggled at this hoop in one way or another. There's obviously a little hill there that causes a bit of excitement. Kevin staying clear of any hill by leaving it pretty well, yard short.
Yep. Reasonably straight. Red's nice and deep.
You can see the pencil sort of grip that Kevin has. Smooths the ball through, negotiates that little hurdle. Both enemy balls at 3 back. It's choosing
Chris,
to
return
croquet
racket.
halfway up the lawn.
Now, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to construct it, but if he could cross peg the two black and blue ball near the peg in the middle and have himself over onto that western boundary, it would be just about the best leave he could muster for hoop 2 and not allow a ball into corner 4 on the lift shot. The red's in a good position to keep it there to do that. He's not choosing to do that, so it looks like it would be a standard diagonal spread.
Yep, rolling the yellow and the red over towards hoop 3, keeping the red near the centre line.
He could be, even though he is for hoop 2, he could be looking at some sort of new standard leave or a 2-4 leave by having all the balls here. But it's not the easiest start when you're for hoop 2. You're relying on a big rush from distance up to hoop 2 and dealing with the ball in corner 4.
Well, he's given himself some distance here. Yeah, putting some distance between the blue and the black here, which means that he'll be able to pump this blue well past the peg or up to the peg, whatever he chooses. So it's going up towards the peg.
Yeah, he's held it. You'd be betting on it being an old standard leave at this point, I think, Gareth, which isn't bad for hoop 2. But,
yes.
Given got something else in plan.
Yes, it's unlikely that the leave will be tremendously tight at this stage.
Well, the old standard leave, well, the downfall is that it's only a 13-yard shot for Simon, but it's very powerful if Simon does miss.
Yeah, so as Pete is mentioning, the leave has two purposes. One is to lessen the chances of your opponent hitting, but the other purpose is to maximize what you have when they miss. So there is a bit of a trade-off there, and the leave that Kevin is about to put on the lawn. Oh, he doesn't like that, Pete. He doesn't like that. He didn't get.
No,
he
got away
hasn't
from
got
it
the
a
rush
little
on
bit. Yeah.
the.
And it's only 11 yards from people. Black ball.
Yeah. Oh,
a lot shorter than even the 13 yards he was possibly given him.
Well, I guess this blue will be going over towards the western boundary, and the yellow ball will come towards the red.
Yeah, the black ball's just travelled 2 to 3 yards too far, Gareth. He'll be a bit annoyed with himself there to give Simon a short shot. But it's one that still has to get hit. So.
Well, it's a nice position for him for the blue, and he's got a nice rush on the red towards the east. But as Pete said, that black ball is a little bit close to B-balk, and that will give Simon a chance to shoot at it with his blue ball, so he can pick up his blue ball and shoot at that. So while Kevin is deciding on what he's going to do with his shots, we'll just emphasize what we mean by showing the shot that Simon might have. So this, Simon can pick up his blue ball and place it on this line at the top, and therefore have a shot at the black ball, which is only going to be about 12 yards or so. So that'll be shorter than anything else that Kevin leaves him. And so we'll expect Simon to have a go at that. But we've been wrong many times before. The players have all sorts of things going through their minds.
And Kevin will be just making sure he doesn't leave more than a ball's target for black ball where it lies. He won't want to give Simon any hint of a double or a ball and a half target or anything like that. So he'll be trying to get this yellow nicely placed. So it's only a single ball target from that black ball.
Yeah. So if black has a shot at the red and yellow, which is made even more attractive because they're too close together and there's effectively more than a single ball target, then Simon might not take the shot that we mentioned earlier from the northern boundary. So Simon might choose to play with the black at red and yellow, but we think there's a good chance that he'll pick up the blue and take the shot from the north.
Kevin seems happy with the position. I think he's deemed his last turn there. And said,
right.
That's it.
Well, Simon strides on, has a look, says no double there. And I guess his preference would be to play with the blue anyway, Pete, because that's near Kevin's next hoop.
Yeah, and Kevin's got a kind of rush to that west boundary past the blue, which is handy for Kevin to have if Simon does pick up the black and shoot down this line.
There, I think he was looking at a position where he might have the double.
Yeah, I think it'd be.
Is there a
difficult
possibility
to turn this 11, 12 yarder down?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Not a bigger target. I don't think the angle's quite right. No. You're meaning from B-ball to maybe construct a double.
Yeah, it's from B-ball. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he certainly picks up the blue, so we'll do that on the mini map. No, he's taking it over towards corner 3. So he's not going to have a go at the black. He's going for the double. He's going to contrive himself a double. No, he's not even going to contrive himself a double. He's just going straight forward.
No, he's wanting that ball in corner 4. I mean, Kevin's a very good tripler, and if he's going to slow him up that way, I think it's worth it. But it's a big call to turn the 12-yarder down. So you may know this bit of land
right
better than
through
us.
the middle of the two of them.
No, he won't be happy with that one. No.
Well, he won't be happy. I think he didn't give himself the best chance there. I mean, that shot that he's taken is twice the distance of the black.
And not the worst case scenario for Kevin. Any miss was a ball down onto the south boundary, but this isn't that much worse than in the middle of a ball on the south boundary.
No, that's right. So if Simon had taken the shot at black and ended up on the middle of the south boundary, that's no worse than where he is now. Okay, interesting choice by Simon, but he knows what he likes the feel of. So Kevin, remember, is for hoop 2 with the red. So he'll be looking to try and get a rush with the red on the black whilst loading.
He's looking for a little bit of cut on that one, Kevin. I think he just got too much solid on the ball. If he'd cut it half ball, it was in a nice position to load free and get a rush on black to hoop 2. But he's played a good croquet stroke here. It's a great shot.
Great shot. Absolutely perfect. Getting the yellow up to hoop 3 and a perfect rush on the black to hoop 2. So that could not be better for Kevin. And he looks as if he might be away on his second break. So after an incredible arm wrestle at the beginning of the game, first hour of the game was basically an arm wrestle. The last half an hour has been regulation break play. Oh,
Yeah,
not now though.
was,
Oh, Kevin. Oh my goodness, it wobbled off. He's looking at the lawn. He's looking at his mallet. He can't believe it. Oh my goodness. Well, that's not makeable. So he's going to have to go back to the yellow. Fortunately for him, the black and the blue are a long way apart, and there's an easy spot on the eastern boundary for him to discourage Simon from shooting. But he'll be disappointed with that, and it keeps the game nicely poised.
He's been out there constructing a good break for that first 9 and the leave, and he gets back out on the lawn straight away, and just a little relaxation on a simple shot and turn things around quite quick.
So by my reckoning, we would have about 50.
Plenty of time for both players to grab the game. I mean,
shoots at his own blue ball and just narrowly misses.
Far off. Yeah, I'd like to know what their conversations are here and there, Gareth. They have a few words to each other between as one comes on and one comes off. It's both ways. It's not only when one's coming off. They both seem happy to have a chat. And
yes, they do. I think croquet players have mixed feelings about chats as there's interchange. I'm certainly not a great lover of the chat.
No, and that you may find people do chat because they know, well, Gareth doesn't like that very much, and you don't want to strike an opponent that
give him some
on
chat.
purpose. But we'll give him some chat. A bit like sledging in cricket, anything to throw you off a bit. But we don't have that in croquet.
No,
but
we don't.
When two players are happy to chat, and you're both going to be quite relaxed about it.
Well, Kevin got a bit more work to do than he had last time. He will be able to leave yellow as a pioneer here at hoop 3. And who knows, it may work out really well for him because it might present some appealing. Oh, he's put that a bit slow. He's given himself a 7-yarder now. Ooh. Well, he's got to take it on. And it's not a double.
Distance.
Maybe about 6 yards to the blue. He's missed one of these today already.
Yeah.
So
he hasn't had
if
many
he's 90%
for a wee while of difficult shots. He's taken his time and settled himself very well.
Oh, just gets it. Just gets it. Well, he needs a rush up to hoop 2, so it's going to be a big rush. It's be a good 30-yard rush up there. So getting the right spot between the black and the boundary is paramount. And that is the spot. Perfect. And that was interesting, Pete. The
got a bit of jump
kick on the red ball. Did you see the big kick on that? It must have taken some of the energy out of the ball, I think.
Yeah, because the blacks come up, 8-9 yards short, and the red jumped up in the air. So it's just one that the balls were quite close together because he was getting a rush behind the boundary ball, and sometimes you don't quite adjust enough weight back on your leg, on the back of your heels enough, and you come forward on the shot a bit because the balls are so close together, and it doesn't take much for the momentum of the balls to change to what the norm is. He's recovered extremely well. That's looking pretty good. Good roll in. He's avoided that hill that's been taking the ball out to the right.
Well, I don't think that's a makeable shot from where he is. So I think he's going to have to
gone too far left, has he?
Back to the yellow. Yeah.
Not even half. Kevin's a good half jumper.
I think he'd need a full jumper. He'd need a waistcoat and a raincoat as well as a jumper for this one.
Good man, Kevin.
It's going to be a yellow retreat. So off he goes, giving himself a very wide join, Pete. That's quite a teaser he's left himself. So I think.
Yes, it's certainly going to stop Simon shooting at him. So he needed to protect that boundary.
Yes.
And I think if he tried to come in much shorter, there was a chance of a double. So Simon, I think Kevin had a point he had to get past. Looking at that.
Well, I think we can expect to see Simon shooting the black down towards the blue, and we might end up going through this whole little cycle again. Unless, of course, Simon makes contact with the black.
Decision walking up there.
Not sure how much furniture is in the way. A little bit.
It's not an easy target.
He avoids the hoop. No, and should Kevin miss, he's got a rush with black up the park. But so Kevin now with this 8-yarder that he's, maybe more like 6-yarder that he's given himself. Obviously, he should make it. The percentage is well in his favour. But in order to construct a break, he's going to have to come down and use Simon's black and blue balls again. So some amazing interaction.
Same rush as he.
So we'll get a time check from Kate at some stage. We think we started the game at pretty much exactly 1 o'clock. So it would have been going for 1.5 hours, which would mean that there'd be 3/4 of an hour left, a bit less than that. Time not really preying on the players' minds at the moment, but worth us keeping an eye on. And we've been very lucky in the coverage to have games that have gone to time. It's did he miss that, Pete?
I don't know if. I'm not sure. I didn't see his body language. If he just clipped it or if it sailed past.
Let's see if he
I think it sailed past.
Let's see if he marks it in or picks it up. He marks it in.
Yeah.
He marks it in. So this is an amazing opportunity now for Simon. He's got a rush with his black ball, being able to push the blue all the way up towards the yellow, and that's a fine rush.
It's a good rush.
Right on the
Simon was in position very quick. I think he might have been hovering down the bottom there. So I think you're going to miss this, Kevin. Instead of retreating somewhere. And Kevin.
Kevin did give himself a very.
He did miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you say, he gave him a bit longer than what you probably would have been comfortable with.
Well, I'm generally comfortable with only things that are less than a yard, Pete. So I'm not a good barometer for what's come.
I think you're selling yourself a bit short.
Well, Simon has managed to get an approach shot to hoop 5, and he should be able to pick up a break if he can just get this shot right. If he can just get the black in front of the hoop, then the blue is reasonably placed, and the red, of course, is
exactly
near
right.
one back. He's just a little bit short.
Get
Still makeable.
There's always a tricky hoop to start on hoop 5. It means you've got to rush from distance no matter what you do to get the break going. It's not a nice one to come out on the lawn and start up on. But if you could have got through that, then yes, the other ball would have been workable enough to get the break going.
Bit of frustration there for Simon.
A bit of a reprieve there for Kevin.
Yeah, but the only good thing for Simon is that the ball that's been left at hoop 5 is Kevin's yellow ball, which is the ball that he's already advanced. So that lessens the impact a bit. If it had been the red ball that was there, then that would have been a bit more serious. Actually, Kevin, looking at this, he's looking at the wiring between the black and the blue, Pete.
What distance do you think that yellow is away from the black, Gareth?
Well, it's very close. It's only about 4 yards, but there's obviously a wiring between.
He's got to go past the leg of the hoop.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting. Kevin came on. That's a big moment. Instead of taking a 4-yarder, which for him is pretty much guaranteed, he's actually left the black where it is, gone and paired up, and has basically given himself a really good leave because Simon's black and blue balls are in the middle of the lawn. Nice thinking from Kevin there. And this is a big shot for Simon because he's been forced into playing right across at the 2 enemy balls. He shoots and he hits. Well played, sir. That will make him feel a bit happier after that bad miss at 5. And not bad either because hoop 2 is his next hoop, but he should be able to get something going here.
Yes, if we can get a replay of what. No, I'd like to see what Kevin turned down. I think it must have been that he had to go past the leg of the hoop, and his target was at less than half a ball.
Okay. We'll be interested to see a replay of that.
Your opponent, like Simon, made an error at hoop 5, it would be quite good for Kevin to use the balls, keep Simon off the court, stewing about his error, and put a leave out there that you would hopefully again be able to do something with when he misses. And by returning straight to partner, which I don't think he'd like to shot at that Simon's ball, it allowed Simon back on the court very quick and he only had one choice as to black had nothing, so he has to shoot with blue, and he gets a chance to restore the error he made quite quickly with a bit of determination and motivation fresh in his mind. So for Kevin to not take that opportunity to put the thumb screws on Simon a bit, I don't think he liked his target, but we won't know unless if I get to see how much was showing, poking out.
Well, you'll have to re-watch KO Sports later on today to catch that and confirm one way or another. Now, although Simon has made one hoop, he hasn't really engineered a situation that's leading to a break here. He does have the luxury now of being able to pop Kevin's balls into spots that are advantageous, but I'm not sure how he's going to get the black off hoop 5 and also improve the position of the red. Let's see what happens. You spread the yellow out towards hoop 4. Cheeky little 3 or 4 yarder at black. Black hits the peg.
Healthy part of the peg.
Simon's last maneuver is now going to have to be to put himself safe on the boundary whilst getting Kevin's red ball. Oh no, he's going to go up to hoop 3.
I think he's going to ignore red. It's quite tricky to get himself safe and get to the red at the same time.
Yeah.
He's electing just to.
Okay, well he's
played there a great weight. That's a nice shot on the black ball buried in towards the corner. Thinking he's not quite sure what Kevin's going to do. And he's set it for blue ball.
Yeah, blue ball, which is on hoop 3 now. So Simon's score should be 2 for the blue and 4 for the black. A long shot for Kevin. Looks like it's going right.
Now
into the corner. So what will Simon do here? Will he just make hoop 3 and then try and use?
Gareth. It looks like he's just going to make the rush and do something with those. I was thinking just about maybe okay to play black ball and just move the balls around, because it's difficult to say there's a break on ahead here. You're relying on some very good shots. But if black could get off of hoop 5 and 6, I think the leaves are a lot easier and better starting positions. Those little balls.
Oh, and that's
frustrated as Simon, isn't he?
He won't be happy with that.
No, he was able to give hoop 5 a kick in frustration last time, but it wasn't affecting the position. But he held himself off there by not kicking the hoop, because it may have moved the ball. Good bit of control. You got to vent your frustrations out. Come back fresh of mind.
Well, that's right. You sometimes feel like giving the hoop a really good clonk after you've after it's blobbed you, but in that split second, you just have to take stock and not throw your mallet over the fence. Or into the Cook's River.
Well, there's not many got over the fence in Cairnlea. If they're high fences,
they are high fences. I'm not sure that no one's managed
decent.
It.
Well, yeah, there's been a few decent mallet movement in Cairnlea, but it's reasonably rare. Most people lose a bit of. You get a bit frustrated, and either your mallet drops on the ground or you let out a few words here and there. But in general, most people are pretty well disciplined that you control yourself. You're putting a lot of hours of practice in, a lot of travel to events, and it means a lot to you. And you can't hold it in all the time. It gets to you. It's what you come out the next turn and what you're like after the matches. It's all gone and forgotten about. It happens. It gets quite frustrating if things are just not working. You can do better. And
Well, Kevin, a good chance to get something going here. He can just clip the blue and get a rush on the black towards hoop 2. And he'll have a nice pioneer there. There's the first part of it done.
And Mike Conn was in good position to see the blue being hit.
Now he's put his mallet where he would like the red to go to get the rush on black towards hoop 2.
And you're allowed to use your mallet to find these spots, Gareth. You can't use another ball or a marker or pick up a leaf and move it there or anything like that. You are allowed to put your mallet there to find a spot and then remember that spot. Sometimes you're just picking a blade of grass that you keep in your memory. But the mallet is allowed.
You also, Pete, you're allowed to use a leaf that's already there. So if a leaf is in the position that you want to go to, you're not obliged to move it.
Just hope No, fraught with danger at Cairnlea, of course, Gareth. By the time you turn around, the wind's probably moved it somewhere. And in doubles, it's quite handy.
It's been replaced by another leaf.
You can use your partner's. You can get your partner to put their foot there if you're playing doubles, but they've just got to move it away before, you take your stroke.
Okay, nicely through, Kevin.
That
hoop had proved challenging previously. So the question now is, can he get the yellow into play to maybe even start thinking about a triple?
Yeah, the balls are tricky to get much happening, Gareth. I think you mentioned that Kevin's in a position where he will be making the final, isn't he?
He should.
So the result
should be. Yes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So there'll be a little part of Kevin thinking, I'd like to push and get some peels going because I'm playing a final next round, rather than. He wants to win this game, but he may think I'd like to get something happening going before I play the final and get some peels movement happening. Or he could be quite easily thinking, look, I just want to settle down and string a couple of good breaks together with a good lead at the end of it.
Yeah.
It'll be just what mindset he's thinking, what he's required for in a final next round. So he could, he's got a couple of options.
Getting time on the lawn is really, really useful.
Yeah.
And this is regulation stuff for him now. Yeah, sending the yellow down towards hoop 4 and getting a nice rush on the blue.
It's quite tricky to, not being at the venue, to get a gauge of how hard the lawn is playing. The brief amount of commentary I did yesterday and today, leaves look quite tricky to muster after even a controlled break. And I think that would be at the top of my list of requirements to think, I just want to get good control on the break and be able to set a good diagonal spread where the balls are wide and the right distances apart and bring that into the final. So if Kevin can get around to the peg on this turn, that's where I'd be putting some focus on, is some tight control at the end of the turn.
So the situation in this game is this group is a bit tighter than we first thought, because Kevin is only 9 hoops ahead of Malcolm Biddle, and therefore if the results go Malcolm's way and Kevin loses this game, then in fact Malcolm would be going through.
Right. Well, I think that answers it for us. I think Kevin will be taking very, very little risk that and that may mean there'll be no peel attempts, that it'll be just holding on to every break and making sure he gets to the peg here and protecting that 9-hoop lead. You don't actually want to be thinking that as you're playing the game. How many points do I need to get through? And you actually do want to just be out there playing the game to win the game and play the right tactics to win the game. But just how the game's unfolded, where they've both made a few more errors than they probably would like, just some sort of control would be the best thing that he could leave the match with. Good shot. Yeah, no, everything's all looking pretty good here for Kevin. It's slowed himself down a little bit and just thinking through all his options.
Yeah, he's certainly got the balls nicely placed, Pete. He's
the last sequence of shots have been very tidy and tight, so we would expect, unless something pops up on a hoop approach or something, we would expect Kevin to be able to hold this break around. He's kept away from possible wiring of getting a rush on the yellow, and he's come up on the inside of it. Means he's just got to construct a reasonable takeoff to the blue ball for hoop 5. Safety first at this point.
Yes, it should be a pretty straightforward shot for him to get the red into position by the blue. Yep, that's where he would have placed it if he'd been able to just pick the ball up and move it over there. Everything looking quite straightforward for him now, with about only about 20 odd minutes left in the game, I think.
Yeah. Well, Kevin will be wanting to soak up the next 15 odd minutes of those and keeping this break going and put a bit of time into making the lead.
Yeah, nice centre ball contact to send the blue over. You can always tell when a player is starting to get into their groove. The Roquets hit centre ball. And
ball, yeah. You'll be able to promote this blue into the court a bit and get another rush on yellow to load yellow to 1 back. So nothing too tricky for Kevin coming up. Matter of keeping calm and keeping it all together.
And this will take Kevin another 15 minutes or so. So it'll really start to get to a position where Simon is left with time.
Oh, very much so, because Simon will Simon will be maybe forced into playing the ball that's on hoop 5 and just rattling out a couple of hoops on a break and setting a lead quickly, so it gives him a chance to win in time. But Kevin will be able to use that to his advantage on how he sets a lead.
Well, that will certainly be interesting if we get to a stage where we have a player that's having to.
Nice cut. Oh, perfect cut.
Kevin very much.
You don't want to purely hoop approach in at this stage of the break. You have to approach these from pretty close dead in front, 1 foot out is what you're looking for. Run the hoop from 6 inches and you can guarantee a rush anywhere you'd like.
Yeah, we'll be able to rush the black down and load it to 2 back whilst getting on the blue. I'm not sure if the operator of the mini map has got the position of blue correct. We'll see. No, not too bad. A little bit out.
Yeah. Actually, the blue's probably in a better position than what the mini map had it. It allows him a lot of room to land behind. But south of blue, yeah, he doesn't have to force his croquet shot across that much. Just land anywhere south of the blue, he's in really good shape.
Yeah. That's a bit flat.
No, he's a little bit flat. It just means he's lying on a takeoff back up to the up court on yellow. Nothing difficult. But, you know, takeoffs can vary in speed what you're attempting. So,
well, interestingly, he's pushed that fair way over, so he'll be doing the takeoff shot against the grain, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he pushed it across so much, but I mean, it's not too difficult. It just means you've got to get, if your yellow is correct on the mini, it just means he's got to clear out to the right hand side. Yeah, it's a good shot.
And that's perfect.
Perfect shot.
Yep, that's exactly the spot.
He's got himself into a groove. The weights of the shot's perfect, hitting in the middle of the ball. Running hoops from short distances, all under control.
Should be no problem for him here. And 3 goes. I guess now I'll have to play a bit of a split to load 3 back whilst going to the blue and black. Tiny bit of furniture in the way there in the form of...
Well, no, I think yellow will be going towards hoop 5 and he'll put blue to a 3 back. Well, I think
that's a takeoff, Pete.
Well, he's not even taking yellow down to hoop 5. So he's just doing a takeoff.
No.
Bit of safety first.
Yep. So it'll be blue that becomes
black's
the pioneer at 3 back.
Yeah. I think he's just a bit worried with that black so far east of 2 back that he wanted to get some control and make sure this croquet shot's the simplest form it can be. Guarantee him a rush into 2 back. Shot.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Blue going.
Yeah.
Yep. And blue is short and a little bit north, but that's a good spot because once he comes out of 2 back, it gives him a whole range of croquet strokes that he can load 4 back and ball in a nice position near the blue ball.
Yes, if you're playing the 3-ball break, it's probably better to have the blue where it is there now,
Yes.
rather than in the position
If you draw
for a 4-ball break.
If you draw an imaginary line through the outer hoops, Gareth, like a big rectangle, and if you're only using 3 balls, you want to keep the balls within that big rectangle. You don't really want ones going too far out of it. That means you're compromised on what croquet stroke you can play to get to them. Oh, this is good.
Well, he's got to rush back up the park towards the
quarter 2 area and bring the yellow into play. Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, just gets halfway, but that's still okay.
Yeah,
you can still play a shot that loads 4 back going to yellow.
So I was just about to say, it's quite handy as well for a bit of time chewing up. You know, you're using all 4 balls all around the corners of the court. But Simon recognised that as well, and he thought, "Oh, right, I'll speed it up a bit. I'll get the ball for you."
Yeah, I noticed that Simon coming on to give the ball back to Kevin to say as a way of just making sure that an extra 10 seconds don't go past.
Fully allowable and all good. It's game moving along. No one's playing for time, but just the choice of your shots you take can help you out by taking a little bit more time.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and a nice cut of yellow back into the lawn, and that really does stamp his authority on the balls now, because they are pretty much exactly where he wants them. Once he's made 3 back,
coming up to about,
then it's
yes, and we've got about 15 minutes left, Gareth.
Yeah.
And 4 hoops to make, so that's going to take maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. The leave will take a few minutes because you want to get it right. So Simon's could possibly only have 5 minutes to make a decision, hit a ball, and scramble a couple of hoops to give himself a chance.
Well, Kevin has played over 2,500 ranking games. He will know exactly how he wants to manage this time, won't he?
Oh, yeah.
He'll have a very, very good.
He's scooting along at it. He's playing at a nice pace. It's nice, crisp pace. It's,
yes. No, he's playing at his normal cadence. I mean,
he's just a nice pace that he's not going to make an error, and thinking away what he's going to do once he gets through Rover. How he's leaving these balls.
You're always better off playing at a pace that is your natural pace. You know, the moment you start thinking, do I need to go fast or should I go slow or whatever, is when you're likely to make mistakes. So being able to keep it at your normal pace is perfect.
Yep.
But it will be interesting to see what Simon can do if Kevin has racked up 12 hoops with 1 ball and Simon is still only 2 and 4. Then how he can scramble to put himself in a position where he can still win. He'll be doing some arithmetic at the moment.
Oh, very much, yes. I think Simon will be out on that court very fast when it's his turn. Oh,
well, here's a possible chance.
One hoop approach you don't want to drop on you.
Here's a possible. Going to have to play this with a bit of bite. No, there we go.
Yeah.
So Simon has a lift if he wants it. He's got 10 minutes or so on the
10
clock.
minutes.
In that 10 minutes, he could make some hoops, and he could do a nice leave, and we could be in for a real treat. So, and the black ball is the one he wants to play with, I would think. It's the one that's got a slight hoop 5. Yeah, so how can he make hoop 5? He's got a pioneer at 6. If he could make 5 off blue. Oh no, he's actually going to play with the blue ball, Pete.
Nice.
Because blue is for hoop 3. Yeah.
Blue is for hoop 3.
Well, he's hit that a long way.
Needs to.
Well, he certainly hit that a long way. So Kevin has got 18 hoops. How's Simon gonna get himself? He needs to make what, 6 or at least 5 hoops.
Well,
with this.
Yeah,
or 3 hoops with this one.
Yeah, he just needs to possibly not go through one back. If he can muster himself through hoop 3, 4, 5, and 6, set a leave without giving a lift, and then do something with the black ball that goes all the way around, and possibly get the one peel.
Yeah. Well, he's not exactly hurrying, is he? Given the fact that he's only got about 7 minutes left, and he's got to make 4 hoops. Oh, he's left that woefully short. Oh dear.
Yeah, 4 hoops is perfect. That gives him a score of 6 and a possible 13 with the black ball. Give him 19.
Yeah. But he hasn't done himself any favours with this one.
He has left that short. You just need a good solid roquet on this red ball. That's a good shot.
Oh, he's put the red through. He's put
the red through. That changes it.
That's given Kevin
quite
an extra
a bit,
point.
because there could be a 19-all tie coming up.
That's an extra point for Kevin. Oh.
It just means Simon
an extra point for Kevin. Kevin now on 19. Oh, well, he's not hurrying either.
Oh, well,
he's
no, he's not
he's
hurrying.
Literally only got. If we could see the time ticking down on the screen.
At the start of the game, he is there.
Yeah, I know. He's swashbuckling and flying at everything, and now when he needs to get some pace on, it's almost like he's going through glue. So we'll get a time check soon, but I can't imagine it's much more than 6 minutes. And he has to get to at least hoop 6, and then do some sort of leave that Kevin misses, and then he can relax.
Yeah.
Then he can come on the lawn and say, "I'm going to make 13,"
and then it'll be all tied up. It's a bit in a better position, or to be all tied up if he's the one with the lawn control.
Oh, just ambling down towards the black now. Sorry, the mini-map operator has been AWOL because it's just too concerned about the pace.
Yes. Well, he knows he can't make
Yellow
any
goes
errors, so
on.
he's keeping himself playing at a nice pace, but it's got some requirements of moving it along
Well,
and not let what happened
well,
yesterday
there are, and
come up
also
again.
his normal pace is one where he comes out and fires. I mean, this isn't his normal pace. This is, if he was playing like this towards the end of the game that he was winning, I'd be going, oh, you know, he's taken it down a gear. But you know, it's just he's not motoring like he normally does. Now this blue needs to end up with a rush on the red, which it has. Yellow's right up at the peg though. Okay, should make this. Through the hoop. Rush on the red to come. Waiting anxiously for the clock information, which I suspect is just 3 minutes now. And he's going to have to load 6, get a rush on the yellow maybe, but the peg's in the way. Maybe he can bring the black in.
Yeah, I've just been looking for Simon to call out, "Could I have time, please?" Just so he knows what he's faced with to make this hoop or two hoops and set a leave.
So Kate tells us that there's actually 6 minutes left, which is a surprise to me.
Plenty of
because, yeah, it's so we're
plenty of time.
Yeah, I was just caught by surprise. I thought there was a lot less time.
No, this is very good.
Should be
You can
okay.
spend
Should be okay.
another couple of minutes making these 2 hoops. Oh, he had a big crack at that one and got some control out of it, so that's gone his way. That's good. And just to get the best leave he can do after this hoop, and not give a lift.
Yeah, not giving a lift.
Make Kevin shoot from distance.
Kevin on 19. Simon makes 6 with this one. Oh no, he's taking it to 1 back. He's taking it there, Pete. Okay, well that's a surprise.
Yeah. Well, it is. The important thing is the lift, Gareth. I mean, even if he puts out the perfect leave with a lift, it's the maximum he can get Kevin shooting is about 18, maybe 19 yards. But giving him a leave with no lift, he could stretch it 20-something plus yards at least. And the result will be the same. He just needs to get Kevin to miss, and he needs to get a break that controls all the way around at the peg.
I've just got this horrible feeling that
that by Simon rushing, he did rush Simon through 4 back, so he may be thinking always that I had to make one more hoop.
Yeah.
And not have a tied situation.
Well, can only be a couple of minutes left now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's perfect, Gareth. We don't get many matches like this, and Simon's been able to deliver 2 of them for us. The time is critical.
Kate advises us that we've got 3. Well, it'll be 3 minutes by the time I say this.
3.5. Yep.
3 minutes. And
It's enough time for him to make 1 or 2 hoops.
No,
And settle
Simon
down.
just giving the impression that he's making the break. I mean, I can't see where he's going to do the leave here. He's got Pioneer at 2 back. He's left himself a slight angle on this one. Goes through.
What's his black ball for, Gareth?
Oh, he's unlucky. Oh, he's careered into the wire of the hoop. He might not be able to. Black's for 6. 5.
So that gives him 5 for 5. So he's on 4. So the maximum he can get to is 17, and Kevin's already on 19. Kevin is entitled to have that shot watched if he wanted to, which doesn't need it watched. It's clear and
okay. I think we're going to get a leave now, Pete. Well, it's certainly not doing my blood pressure any good watching Simon taking this so slowly.
Simon's calm. It's a very good. I think he knows what he's up to. It's you and me that
he's got nerves of steel.
Because
I'm feeling very jittery.
It's down a minute and a half now. Timed it to perfection.
The red's down there. Now he's coming up for the yellow.
Don't hit it too hard and have to retrieve it, Simon. That'll take another 20 seconds to measure this ball.
Come on, Simon. Come on. Urgency.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, if the time does go, we may see a mallet over the fence.
Well, it will be. I think it will be the mallet throwing Simon over the fence. Okay, well, he's not giving. He's not no, he is giving away a left. He's giving away a left, but this is mental. He's not going to be able. He can't do it now. He can't do a leave in the few seconds that are left. Unless I've done a complete miscalculation. $10 seconds. Well, he can't get off the lawn in 10 seconds now.
No, well, you can just roll them somewhere and deem the last.
Well,
just say deem.
Time has gone.
But you know what I mean? Is Kevin's got.
Oh, some debate over what's this? Oh. I mean, is it possible that Simon thought the games were 2.5, or I don't know.
I don't know, Gareth.
There's nothing that can be done
we
now.
better check. We're not at fault in the arithmetic. So if Simon carries on with this break and goes all the way around and pegs out, is 13, and his black is for hoop 5, so that gives him another 4 points. So that would make him 17. And Kevin is on penultimate and 4 back, which is 19. So no, if 19, time is called, he hasn't given himself a chance to win the game.
Well, yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, he's just going to finish this break by the looks of things. But Unfortunately,
he
we
sped up
know that
again, Gareth.
he's sped up again. Yeah, he's now playing at his normal pace.
Yeah. Well, a lot of good questions for the interviewer at the end of the day with Simon there, Gareth.
Well,
and we
I'll let you do that
besides
one.
We've been completely obsessed with the time. Thank you. Nice return of serve there, Gareth. Well, we've been obsessed with Simon's time management. We've kind of haven't commentated on any of his plays. His break's been great. He's managed to hold on to a pretty tough break.
Absolutely.
He's played his best croquet in the last 15 minutes in this match. It's just a shame it's got away from him in time. So we know Kevin's the winner of this game, so that puts Kevin into the final, doesn't it?
Yep. So Kevin and Chris Grant. Well, that's a great final.
And his opponent's Chris Grant. Yes.
Yeah.
And I haven't been looking at the other blocks results. And did Chris beat Ken Ball? Obviously, look, Ken Ball looked like he was flying along.
A great game
after day one.
Really, really good game. Although we shouldn't give any spoilers because for those.
Okay, I'll give me something.
Oh, he was trying some sort of peel there.
He was.
But he stays alive on the red. Well, we might see some. Who knows? We might see some incredible, spectacular peeling extravaganza.
Well, yes. Simon always had the option of doing some peels on the other ball, but he didn't look like he was even setting for any of that. And it's like it's dawned on him as time's gone. Well, I need to do 2 or 3 peels on the black ball.
Yeah.
Left them a bit late.
Well, of course, the interesting thing that happens now is that if he makes 4 back, then he'll actually be giving Kevin the possibility of a contact.
Yes.
But I don't think he'll be making 4 back.
Some drift on it.
Oh no, it's the camera angle there that's a bit deceiving.
Yeah.
Now it goes through. He gets a little squirt out, which means he doesn't have a hampered shot anymore. Yeah, nice contact on the red. Yeah, it's quite a swashbuckling break now, isn't it? The black is still placed to make a peel, but hoops are running out. Let's see. Can he do it with some peels? If he gets 13, he's got 17.
Well, he can peel black through 5 and 6. Yes, he can draw, but as you say, he's given Kevin a contact. So he needed 3 peels, but he left that very late to start attempting peels. I'm not sure you can do 3 peels when you've only got 2 hoops to make.
There's probably someone who has.
Oh yes, I'm sure there is. Been some. And is the final game set to start fairly quick after this? Or
I would think so. I suppose Kevin would probably want a small break, but he's had a break, hasn't he? Let's face it. I mean, he hasn't been on the lawn for the.
He has had a sit down. That's dead right. But you need to get yourself in frame of mind for a final and work through what's happening and what you're going to do. But I'll leave you for a minute and then I'll come back and get ready for what happens next.
See if he's done several peels. Well, it's been a fine all-round break from Simon. He's manoeuvred all the balls very skillfully around the lawn, and just wasn't able to manage the time to give himself a chance of winning this game. So we'll have a final between Chris Grant and Kevin Beard, and that will be a really great occasion. Chris has played some fantastic croquet over the course of the last couple of days, and Kevin, as always, with his previous 2,500 games, has been as solid as a rock. Unfortunately, no particular options for Simon to play with here. Be interesting to know what's been going on the other courts, and we know that Chris Grant, of course, is through. It'll be fascinating to see what play has been happening, and what the final state of the tables are.
So he's Range Rover, Gareth, is he?
Yes. Rover is run, and it's the end of a very nice break. 11 hoops, I think, and I think he started on. Did he start on 2 or 3? No, I think he started on 3, didn't he?
Started on hoop 3, yes. Yeah, no, it's been a fantastic break, and well, it's good to get Simon to show what he's capable of. He had a bit of a roughie in the match yesterday that was televised, so some free-flowing Simon out there in the last 20 minutes. It's good to see. And as we were saying earlier yesterday, he's one of the true characters of Australian croquet scene. Been around for a long, long time, and he's a challenge for anyone who gets to face Simon, from experienced to new players especially. You don't get a pass mark till you've played and come out on top of Simon.
Well, he's looking to peel this.
Yeah, he's looking for a rush peel here, isn't he?
Yeah. Give us a bit of skill to appreciate at the end.
Yeah. He's just going to take the last ball off for a final point. So he's a fighter to the end, Simon. Even if he's going to go down, he's going to make it as close as possible on the scorecard. Yeah, nice break, Simon.
So Kevin could opt to play on here with his contact or his lift shot.
Do we know what lawn the final is on, Gareth?
No. I would imagine
is he back on this court?
I think perhaps back on this court. That would give Kevin a little bit of extra intel, but these players have been playing on on these centre courts, I think, most of the tournament, haven't they? So Kevin is going to do what he's allowed to do, which is to continue, even though he's already won the game.
And so he's allowed to take. So Simon started that break from hoop 3, and that meant he went through 1 back and 4 back in the same turn, and his other ball hadn't been through 1 back. Kevin's entitled to a contact rather than a lift shot, and that means you can pick up your red or your yellow ball and put it in contact with any of the 3 balls, and that's what he's done. And so it takes the requirement of actually hitting a ball onto another ball from any sort of distance out of the equation. So it's why we have that position where we stop at 4 back, so you don't give away a contact. But some games are necessary that you have to give away a contact because it's your best percentages of winning the game, and you're elected to do it. And Simon was forced into it basically once he had gone through 1 back as he needed.
Okay, well, Kevin with a shot, a slight angle, about 4 feet away.
Slight angle, yeah.
And doesn't make it, but didn't have to. And that's the end of that game.
No, well done to Kevin. He controlled the good, important part of that match for a good hour. We was able to struck 2 pretty good breaks. And while Simon did get a good break going, it was just a little bit late. So Kevin's done enough to get himself to the final, and so well done for first goal achieved. Win your block, make the final, then start again and win the final. So, been in this position a few times, Kevin.
Yes, that's all you have to do.
Pretty relaxed. Yeah.
All you need to do to win this championship is to win your block and then win the final, and then you're the winner. that's all that's required.
Easy done. I mean, and he's got a tough competitor in Chris Grant. He's a fabulous player from. I think he's Melbourne. I think he's East Melbourne, isn't
he? So Chris is at Ringwood. Chris Grant.
And so
yeah. So
Chris
an interesting lesson there for people in sort of doing the sums and looking at the clock, really trying to work out how many hoops you can make in the time that's available, and whether or not that would be enough to give you an option after the bell has gone to make up the remaining hoops. And both the games we covered with Simon, he didn't take full advantage of that. But we're over to court 2, where there's 6 minutes left in this game. I can see the yellow ball in the middle of probably 2 back, and the red ball beyond it. We can't see where the black and the blue balls are, and we don't know the clip positions.
All the players.
As if the yellow
can't
ball
see any players.
No players, but they're a ball sort of autonomously moving on it's Ken Bald and Greg Hill.
Yeah.
So this is
okay.
Greg Hill.
Oh, good. We get
And there's the blue shooting across, and it hits the red. Now I wonder if the black has been pegged out. It was a great shot. Great shot.
Yeah.
Yes, I think the black is off the court, isn't it? There it is there. Greg is just walking past it.
2 fabulous players. Ken Bald is from Victoria, but he's represented Australia in many a world championship, and represented Australia in the Tier 1 world team, the Mac Robinson Shield team, in 2014. Probably the highest honour for association croquet player in Australia can do. So had a lot of highly successful years, Ken, and still battling away and entering events, and he's exceptionally skilled and tight on the break once it's getting under control. And we have Greg Hill, who's been a bit of a giant killer of late. He came runner-up in last year's Victorian Open to Ballina's Mike Gidding, and he recently has a stat not many people have got. He managed to get on top of Robert Fletcher in the Rich Hill Classic event. So there's not many people in 2021 who can be walking away saying, "I beat Robert Fletcher." Greg is one of them. So
No.
well done to Greg. So
we're not quite sure of the clip positions, but Greg has popped that red ball down into the southeastern corner. Yeah, that's quite remarkable beating Robert, isn't it?
And fantastic result. Yeah, I mean, and while I haven't seen a lot of Greg, I've had fantastic feedback come back to me of what he's capable of. He's a player from the Brunswick Club here in Melbourne, and Ken's from Horsham. So Ken's one of these players that is a little bit isolated from the croquet scene in Melbourne Central area, or Greater Melbourne, but he's been able to produce a game from practicing and playing amongst just himself for a fair many years. And then when he comes to Melbourne, he excels. He's ready to go. So it's always difficult when you're a bit isolated and you've got limited competition.
Yeah. Well, he must be. He's obviously pegged off his black ball in this game, Pete. There we go. Both red and blue are on 4-back. So red and blue are on 4-back, and the
red and blue on 4-back. Very good.
Yeah, there we go. And there's the situation. Thank you very much. We've got the score. So let's update the mini map. Let's take the black off. Let's put the red where we know it is, down in the bottom southwest corner. And let's take Croquet from the yellow with the blue in the northwest.
Yeah.
And
the critical figure again, how much time's left, Gareth?
Yeah. Well, I think there's only about 3 minutes left, probably even less, actually, given that there was about 6 when we came to the game. Greg looks as if he's going to try and get in front of 4-back. And that's a nice looking pace. And it just comes a little bit far away. So this will be interesting. Ken with the 2 balls and still in with a chance. Greg looking around to see what the time is
possibly
like. Deciding, I think, to go.
A roll to the hoop was better, and then he might have been able to just take hoop position, and yellow wouldn't be able to see you and give you some reward if you can run the hoop. But by taking off, he's kind of allowing Ken just to remove his yellow out of the whole line of play.
Well, Ken, of course, is the one that needs to make the hoops. Greg goes off into the sort of hoop 1, corner 1 area. With less than a minute to go, Ken's obviously going to join up. He's not exactly racing out there.
I think
to get the yellow.
No. I think Greg possibly could have just taken hoop position at hoop 4 back there, because I don't think Ken would have shot at him. And give yourself one more hoop and, more opportunities.
Yeah, Ken needs to
Person
make
make
this
another
shot
couple of hoops
soon.
quickly. Yeah.
This time has gone now, and this is the last throw of the dice anyway. And he hits.
Shot.
Oh, good
It's in the
shot,
middle.
Ken. Yes. Fantastic shot. What a great shot. Now, time's definitely gone now, but he does.
Now, where's
He's
the
got
other
a
ball?
chance.
Mini match.
He's got a chance.
And red is accurate, Gareth, towards quarter 4?
I think so. Yeah, I think the red is accurate. It's down in the southeast, in that sort of corner 3, hoop 4 area. I think it's slightly off. Oh no, it's on the boundary. I think it's on the boundary. So Ken has to make 2 back. But if he can, he's got a chance of tying this up. This is a really big shot. Can he get in front of the hoop? Come on, come on. Oh, not enough. Just not enough. And I think that will be it. And more points for Greg. Ken's obviously got to go for it. I suppose he could try the Croquet on the red. Oh, gosh, what a good effort.
Attempt, is it?
So close. So close.
It's through.
Oh, he's through. He's through.
No, I think he's through.
It didn't look like it from that angle.
Well, he certainly took the clip off the top of the hoop. Yeah, it's just if he's...
He certainly did.
If he's got any part of blue that he can hit would be... Yeah.
I don't think he can see red. I don't think he can see... Yeah, he's sort of got to go for the blue, hasn't he? Oh, dear.
Yeah, he's got certainly nothing on the red.
What has he got? No, he's going for the red.
No, he's got red.
Surely he's not got enough of the ball. Surely there isn't enough of the ball to hit that. He has hit it. It's going towards the red. Oh, he's got it. Yes. Oh, my goodness. That is fantastic. Oh, well played, sir. What a couple of Croquets. Oh.
And he needs to take this break to the peg, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got to take the break to the peg. Oh, that's high drama.
No, it's quite difficult to 2-ball it to the peg. So it's the matter of timing. When do I use the other ball? And I think I might be doing some short that can get you behind blue now. Yeah, put red up the court and go to the other ball.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. Come on, yellow. Yeah. Come on.
That's a great shot. Come on, Kevin.
Don't go out. Don't go out.
It's good enough. Yep, that's a great shot.
Okay, that's
flirted with the line, but it was necessary. Yeah.
Red's up
there.
there.
Chip this one in by another 10 yards. One good takeoff.
Gosh, if that...
Give us something special, Ken.
Yeah, this could be fantastic. Well, it's already fantastic with the two amazing Croquets. Okay. We've got
a little bit of
an
cut.
Extra yard on that.
Nice angle to play the Croquet shot from. Yeah.
So, Pete, would you take off to this now, or would you roll?
No. This is the game here. You get into some position where you can run the hoop and hit one of the 2 balls, and I think you'd have enough G up from playing these last couple of shots to think, well, I can hold on to a break from here. So you've got to play a role that gets you a hoop running position, obviously, but you also want the other ball into the middle of the court as well. Or north of the hoop, anyway. At least.
There's nothing to lose.
That angle he's playing is nice.
By playing the role. Come on, get up there, get up there.
Slow down a bit. Slow down.
Too far. Too far. Well, I mean, he made the other shot with.
Yeah. Yeah, he's stalking it like it's runnable. So that's good.
It'll
It's a
be an
bit
incredible
tougher
shot
than
if he
his last
makes
one.
it.
He's got some angle on the mallet, so it needs some jump into it.
Oh, it's through! It's through.
Yes, well, that's...
Can you believe it?
Yeah, we need a replay of that one, Gareth.
We've got to
That's
have a
a
replay of that
fantastic
one.
jump
That is
shot again.
insane.
And he gave
That
a little
is
bit of a jiggle
absolutely
of the
insane.
shoulders. That's like the the heebie-jeebies you get when you do something absolutely fantastic. It's like you've done it. And just
Yeah.
hit this and it's your game.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. What a series of shots. What an amazing series of shots that has been. Well, well done, Ken. Oh, here it is. And he plays it with some jump, Pete. He actually jumps it.
Oh, yeah.
If we see it again, if we see that one again, look at the jump at the beginning of the shot. He's actually jumping the ball into the
Yeah, that's the
ground.
thing.
It's like one of those dam busters shots.
As soon as he put his mallet on the angle, we knew it was a jump coming up. He just executed it perfectly. I have to get you to take up golf, Craig.
That's an look. Watch this. He's actually banging it into the ground like a jump shot. There. Look at that. The top spin takes it through. Fantastic. That is the highlight of the highlight. That one.
Yes. And crack this one through to the boundary.
Greg will be sitting in the clubhouse looking at this, and as is always the case, thinking, "Oh my goodness!" But the worst thing about it is that everyone in the clubhouse will be cheering Ken on, not because they're cheering Ken specifically, but because everyone loves to see someone coming from behind in this amazing way.
And the best thing, Gareth, is we're going to have a tied game with one ball each, and they're both for the same hoop. So we could be here for quite a bit longer.
Oh, well, let's keep our fingers crossed.
The advantage is Kian does have the advantage because he can position his one close to the hoop on his break. But Greg will have another shot.
Oh, look at this! He's got the rush into penultimate. Now, Kate has just reminded us that no, Greg won't have a lift because he obviously pegged his ball
He won't
out.
know because he pegged out.
So Greg
no
won't have
lift, but he does have another shot if it's tied.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't meaning a lift, but he will have a shot because it should be.
Yes. Yeah. No. There was some debate.
There
was some debate about whether he'd have a lift, but he doesn't have a lift. He just has the extra shot, as you say. So.
Yeah, I mean.
Incredible. I mean, come on, Ken. Come on. One more hoop, and then position yourself with advantage for the next one. Oh, this is amazing.
I'd probably put red up towards 4 back now. She's doing very good, and you can tidy up after Rover. Peg yourself off.
Okay, let's get these.
Hopefully, leave Greg down near corner 1.
So we're pretty sure that Ken was in play on the bell.
So
and certainly
Greg's
the
got
way
that extra turn.
Yeah, Greg's got the extra shot.
So the peel
all curves away.
Or may help.
Oh, look at that!
Ideally, you want to be a very tight position. That's good.
Look at that!
Every grain of experience coming out in Kid now. It's fantastic.
And yeah. Well, if you'd have offered me some odds 15 minutes ago, I know what bet I would have been taking. But that's not such a good rush, given that position. He's given himself a bit of work to do now.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't.
Well, he had to hit that very first Croquet from north boundary. No, we're not going to put the mock
on. Come on, Ken.
Jared.
No, we want him to get this one in front. Come on, come on. Oh, no.
Slowed up, didn't it?
Oh, gosh, a great camera angle, but not such a good outcome. And the rush that he had to take in there was just overhit. Oh, well, he knows what he's got to do, but he's already run 2 miracle hoops. Surely he can't run a third.
He's just,
he can't run a third. It's not
he
possible.
Can run
the laws
on,
of
Ken.
the universe do not allow 3 miracle hoops in one go. Oh, what a shame.
I'm on the opposite side. I'm calling the third one's going through, Gareth.
You're calling the third. I can't. No, the universe doesn't work like that. The universe. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh,
bad luck.
Bad luck. Well, great effort. Fantastic play. Oh.
Well, we do think Greg had another turn still, don't we?
Yeah. Greg's got another turn.
Did Greg have another turn?
The gentlemanly thing to do, in my opinion, is not
Ken's
to take
knocked
the
balls
turn.
away.
Yeah.
Yes, but you want to give them that choice.
Yeah, the win is enough, in my opinion.
Not give them that choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he's pulling up the lawn. He's not. Well, so Kate has asked he can't have another turn, but he can't have
unlucky
another turn because the hoops have come up.
If there's no hoops that are the goal.
Oh dear. Yeah. That's one way of.
That was entertainment anyway, Gareth.
Turn is to pull up all the hoops.
To wrap up the play. Yeah. Too bad if they're using lawn 2 for the final.
Will we be able? Has the final started on lawn 1? If the final has started on lawn 1, it would be great to see that. If otherwise, if we could see some replays, maybe from the Brian Reiter challenge or earlier in the game, or anything would be good to.
Well, even a quick snapshot of Ken's super shots again. Ken hitting from the north boundary to start with, centre ball, then under approaching 2 back, but managed to somehow get through, then hitting a ball towards quarter 4. Yeah, this shot here is just fantastic. It's right in the middle.
This is amazing.
Could be straighter.
So this kicks it all off.
Watching it.
I love the way it's bouncing as well.
Yeah.
And in the end, it hits centre ball.
You'll have to use your mathematical brain, Gareth. So if we're given that one about a 15 to 20% chance of hitting, and then he gets through hoop 2 from nearly an impossible angle, then is able to hit another 20-something yarder from a hampered position from the jaws of the hoop.
Yep.
And then plays the miracle jump shot. So all of that together is
well.
Just
I mean, that's
remarkable.
the thing. I mean, there were this shot here was what, 5%? You'd hit that 1 in 20 times. I don't know. Maybe 1 in 10, but somewhere in that region.
And he's got the whole body of the ball as well.
Yeah, and then
and that's let alone the 2 jump shots.
Approach shot. But I mean, that would be. I mean, I reckon I could have 20 goes at that and not get that at all. So, we're giving
maybe some
1 out of 10 on that one. So a series of, if each of these shots that we've been looking at, he's a 1 in 10 chance of making.
Yeah.
I mean, this one is insane. Look at this. Everything about it. The top spin through the middle of the hoop. And the fact that it then rolls another yard to give him the Croquet chance.
Yeah.
So I think, Pete, essentially what we saw there was a 1 in 1,000 sequence, because I reckon he was 1 in 10 at best on 4 shots in this
shots.
sequence.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 1 in 1,000, and if he had been able to finish the break,
Yeah.
then it would have been, fantastic. But well done, Ken, for giving us something to
and the annoying thing
about.
The annoying thing for Greg would have been that if Ken had made it, all of the people in the clubhouse would have said, "Oh, you shouldn't have pegged off that early." They were so you give your opponent does something that really has a 1 in 1,000 chance, but the peanut gallery all think that you've made the wrong choice.
Yes, and not naming anyone, Gareth, but I think some people have been on the been part of the 1 in 1,000 club of late.
Well, I mean,
we'll leave that for another day
necessarily, but certainly,
it's
definitely
up there.
a fact of life that people tend to judge the outcome rather than the probabilities. Yeah.
But as we're moving along, I'm not sure when the final starts, but the final will be Chris Grant and Kevin Beard. So good luck to both of those players. They're both exceptionally talented and experienced players. It'll be a good final. And I'm going to put you on the spot and get you to give me your prediction, Gareth. Going to come out on top.
Well, I would. Yeah, I'd normally be plumping for the favourite in form of Kevin, but I think Chris is just playing so beautifully, and with such composure, but moreover, he's getting the results. He's actually. We always known that Chris is a great player, but in this particular competition, he's getting the outcomes as well. So
I'll double down and go. I'll go with Chris as well. So sorry, Kevin.
Yeah, right.
We're not wanting you to not win, but we're putting something out there.
No, we're not wanting Kevin to win. But
everyone else following this on KO, you're going to now have to flip over to Croquet scores, and you won't have the visuals. You'll be able to follow the scores as they come in, and so you'll be able to see the result of that final between Kevin and Chris Grant. So that's croquetscores.com, and it's the VCA Men's Championship. And hopefully you'll be able to
next week
follow as much more croquet in the future with it.
Yeah, next week we've got even more croquet for you, this time in the form of golf croquet, and it'll be the men's and women's championships for that. So we've moved from association to golf. 10:30 Saturday it all starts. So I hope everyone will be able to make it there. So just to recap then, we've had a fantastic weekend here at Cairnlea, and we've seen some brilliant croquet. I think one of the things that's really come out as being very exciting has been the timed nature of the games and the tremendous scramble that there can be at the end. The fact that the game is never over until it really is totally out of reach. So you can come back and still win a game even when the scoreboard looks set against you. And that's been a fantastic revelation from the games this weekend. So, Pete, thank you very much for joining me in the commentary box. Thank you to all my other co-commentators. And thanks to our producer, Kate. And we will see you again next week, hopefully.
Next weekend, yeah. And thanks to all the KO viewers who are maybe not croquet followers or new to watching croquet. Thank you for your time and some of the feedback we've been getting is very positive. We're hopefully going to see some of these spectators turning up at some croquet clubs in the future and testing themselves out, and they'll be well advanced. They'll know every trick in the book before they've even held a mallet. So all the best.
Absolutely. And they'll hopefully learn to keep their eyes on the clock.
Yes, and look, I've had a sneak look at who's in the draw next week, and they're in for a delight because Stephen Forster, one of Australia's top association players, has been playing some golf croquet, but mostly doubles. But he's chancing his arm in the VCA
Oh,
men's
good on
golf
him.
croquet singles. So it'll be a highlight to see Stephen Forster out there, because he brings a wealth of experience to the game, and he'll adapt to golf croquet very, very well. And you never know,
Okay.
after
All right,
those
well,
last particular 10 minutes, we may get a late entry from Ken Bould.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll see everybody next time. So that's us signing out. Goodbye.
Okay.